Oh dear, oh dear. Good morning. I am the Christian Conservative Gamer, but you already know that. And obviously I'm doing another test my knowledge today. But instead of it being the world flags, it's now being the world capitals. Yes, you heard me, the world capitals. Because, world flags is not enough. And yes, I know I'm talking a bit, well, I'll probably sound weird on the mic. I'll probably sound weird to myself right now. But that's because I'm still basically ill from the illness I had over the weekend. I had it worst, I think, on Friday, which is why I didn't do a video on Friday. I still got a bit of a cough. You probably hear family members as well who are ill. So, I guess without further ado, I'm going to think what we're going to do. As I said, but before I begin, if you like the content that I make, you can always like my videos, subscribe to my channels, which is the very little you can do to support my channel and my work. Or you can go to my Patreon and donate as little as $1 a month to save a soul. No, I'm kidding. But you can voluntarily donate at least $1 a month from Patreon to, keep this channel alive. Make sure that the videos I produce are advertiser free and uncensored, because I know a few channels I have watched in the past who are now deciding to censor themselves just for their beloved ad revenue on YouTube. And to me, it's like, nah, it's not me. I stick with what the audience wants, and what the audience wants is a channel that isn't censored, that doesn't obey, I wouldn't say obey, but doesn't give in to the threats and demands of big tech corporations just because it's detrimental to their business. Yeah, I tell you what's detrimental to my business: having to censor and put adverts in my works, because that means that my hard work that I do on my channel do not get the full acknowledgement as it should. But anyways, enough of that. I think it's time to begin. So what do we have today? What is the capital of Venezuela? Well, that's interesting since it's been in the news over the few months. Haven't heard of it lately though, so that's interesting. Let's have the 10 questions here, but I know that it's Caracas. Let's hope my civilization forgive me. Okay, this is going to be interesting. What's the capital of this country? Now, Managua is the capital of Nicaragua. And Tegucigalpa. Guatemala City sounds like the obvious, because you got Mexico City, Belize City, Honduras City. I believe the Honduras City is one. But do they all follow that same route? Probably this one. Yeah, it does. At least I know where my logic was. Capital of Poland. Oh, good old Poland. Riga is the capital of Latvia. Riga, however you want to pronounce it. You've got Krakow in Poland, and Gdansk is also in Poland. But Warsaw, usually in the old days, it was known as Warsaw. Probably how it still is pronounced in Polish, or something along them lines, I believe. So we're going to go with that, because I obviously know that one. What is the capital of Kenya? Dar es Salaam, I believe, is the current capital of Tanzania. Because from my understanding, Zanzibar is a city that is still part of Tanzania. It wasn't. Zanzibar was its own independent colony or territory prior to the English occupation. But then, when it got its independence, I believe that it fell into the jurisdictions of Tanzania. Mombasa is a major, I believe, port city of Kenya. Kinshasa, I'm not familiar with that city, but I know Dar es Salaam is the capital of Tanzania. I believe it's Tanzania, but I know that's the capital city today. But Nairobi is the capital of Kenya. These answers personally I do know, but I just want to make sure that I put knowledge behind all these other cities, because I want, hopefully I know what I'm talking about. I mean, geography has always been something that I've been very interested in when I was younger, and because I play games like Civilization, I end up learning different cities and the names of the capitals and all that through them games. So I would hopefully assume that I would know my cities and their locations. But yeah, Nairobi for Kenya. What is the capital of Jordan? You got Asaka. I'm not sure where that is. Irbid. I'm not really sure where that is. I would assume these cities are located in Jordan, because from what my understanding is, there's at least 3 cities that belong to the same country and 1 that is foreign, but that is also a capital. Damascus is the capital of Syria, which only leads me to know that Amman is the capital of Jordan. Yeah. The capital of Morocco. Now this is one that can really. Now this one can be a trick question, because in the past Marrakesh has been considered the capital of Morocco, but today that's not true. Casablanca is a city that was more famous because of the movie Casablanca. Tangier is in northern section of Morocco, but the actual real answer is Rabat. The capital of Ethiopia. You got Asmara, Jima, and Mogadishu, which is the capital of Somalia. I don't know if Somalia technically has a capital city, because from my understanding it doesn't necessarily have a official recognised state government, because it's been embroiled in a long civil war since the I think the early 90s. But Addis Ababa is the capital of Ethiopia. What is the capital of Bulgaria? That would be Sofia. Bucharest is the capital of Romania. Varna is a city located in Bulgaria. Budapest is the capital of Hungary. So Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria. Yes, you're not going to trick me with that one. The capital of the Philippines. Now the Philippines interests me because it has an interest in history. One of the old former kingdoms of the Philippines was known as Cebu or Cebu. However, whatever the actual translation of the word is, I know that much, that it was the Cebu Rajanate. I mean, many of these cities are Filipino. Because a lot of Filipino settlements are generally named after Spanish individuals, because it was once a Spanish colony. Then it was I believe it had its brief independence before it was annexed by the United States. Until World War II, when the Japanese invaded the Philippines, and then the United States liberated it and granted the Philippines its independence. I believe that's what the actual history of the Philippines is. I believe so. But I know when it comes to the capital city, that the capital city is Manila. I didn't know that because my girlfriend is of Filipino origins. And hopefully she will teach me some Tagalog, which is one of the common languages in the Philippines. It is one of many languages, of course. It's not the only one. The capital of Nicaragua. Well, I already said this in the early one of the first with Guatemala. Managua is the capital of Nicaragua. San Salvador, I believe, is the capital of Salvador. And San Jose, well, I believe there's three cities like that. There's one in California, and I think there's a couple in Latin America. But I know that is Managua. Really? That I find very hard to believe. I mean that sincerely. The average score is 7.86 out of a total play of 123,556. I got all 10 answers. Because some people don't know their geography, which is, wouldn't say is their fault per se. I mean, they don't. If you're not interested in knowing the international cultures in the world, then you're not really going to pay attention to what things are outside of your home country. I mean, personally, I probably know more about the United States than I do in my own country, which is the United Kingdom, which is, to a certain extent, quite sad. I mean, I don't know my prime ministers, but I do know my presidents. Not all. I can't name the presidents all in actual numerical order, but I do know a few major figureheads. So I believe Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States. Theodore Roosevelt, I believe, was the 25th or 26th. Donald Trump is the 45th. But from my understanding, I believe he's the 46th. But it's the 46th. 46th in terms of terms, because Obama had 2 terms, which means that it would be 44 and 45 in terms of terms. I believe that's how that works. But I know that there has been some presidents that have been president once and then president later on in the life, which makes them not only like say the 10th, but also like the 17th or something like that. But like I said, I know some presidents of the United States. Admittedly, I don't know all of them because I'm not American and I don't learn all that stuff. But because of my interest in things like geography and stuff like that, it makes it a bit more easier for me to know gives me a bit of an advantage when it comes to knowing my geography, all these geographical questions like capital cities or world flags or the countries of the world and things like that, because I got an interest in that stuff. So, and I've had an interest in that since I was very young. And by young, I mean like since I was like, I don't know, about 12, 11. And I'm 26 now, so at least a good 14 years of interest in the world maps and countries. Plus, I've been playing Civilization games for a long time and downloading mods. So, as well as playing Arma 3 and having certain mods and that has all the world's flags. So, there's many things that I could tie down my knowledge to, but hey ho. But what's the time? Because I wanted to keep the video short today. About 60 minutes, not bad. The only reason I want to keep it down is because, like I said, I'm still not fully healthy, because I'm still a little ill from my illness that I've had. I think the worst of it was on Friday. And then it started to calm down over the weekends, because I happen to be quite a fast recoverer from illnesses. Considering that I don't take any tablets or any other kind of drugs or anything like that is meant to help with the illnesses. Things like cough syrup or penicillin, paracetamols, things to relieve headaches and all that stuff. I don't use that stuff, but that's probably because of my own personal bias against medication and drugs of all kinds. Anyways, not only can they become addictive, but I also think that when you take too much of something, especially like things that helps you fight off illnesses, what it really does is just it weakens your own immune systems to a point where it has to be reliable on like medication and tablets and drugs in order to assist it in combating the illnesses in the future, which to me then leads to you getting the illnesses more consistently, because your immune systems are more weaker and not working as much, because they have been basically a bit diluted by the drugs. But that's just my own personal opinion. I can be absolutely wrong in my assessment, but I can only base it upon my own. I can only base that opinion based on my personal circumstances. I don't take any tablets or any medication or anything like that for any illnesses, and I tend to recover within about 2 to 3 days, which can be pretty. This can technically be considered an average recovery time period, but I know that there has been some people who have had certain illnesses that have lasted for at least a week or two, and that's a rarity for someone like me to have something like that. That's only if you get something like a superbug, but I don't really get much of superbugs, not personally. But I can tell you that this flu or cold was annoying, because it not only did it disrupt me making a video on Friday, but it means that until I actually get better, I can't continue my horror games, because obviously there's a lot of getting scared and over talking, and possibly one at some point screams. And the last thing I want for you to hear is me constantly coughing too much, either out of laughter or screaming and do my throating. And I don't want that. I sincerely don't want that, because it's not fair on you, and it certainly ain't fair on me. I figured that I'll do one today because I don't have any headaches anymore. I still got a bit of blocked nose and I still got a bit of coughs, but they aren't as severe as they were on the weekends. Because when I cough, I literally started getting like chest pains and things like that. Whether that's normal in an illness is questionable, but I ain't getting so much of that now. So I thought, well, I figured it's a good time to like continue my videos because I'm not gonna give up doing what I do just because of some illness. I called in a sick day on Friday. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna call in a sick day on Monday. I was hoping that I'd get back to all this stuff on Monday, and it's Monday, so I'll go back to it. Anyways, enough of that. I think that I've been rambling on a bit now. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoy the videos that I make, as I mentioned earlier, you can always like the videos. You can always subscribe to my channels. You can share my videos. That is the minimal that I can request from you to do, short of voluntary donations on my Patreon for as little as $1 a month, but by paying a little more into the other tiers that are about $2.50 a month, $4.99 a month, and $11.99 a month, they give you access not only to Discord but also exclusive content. And if you apply for the $11.99, which is the editor's package tier, you get access to my 3D models and animations and things like that you can use in your own productions and things like that, as well as you also get the special privileges of requesting my assistance and expertise in developing your own brands, your own animations, your own logos for your own content that you are developing, as well as your own models that you request as well. So there are benefits of that tier. I have been thinking about a public tier, but the only thing that worries me about or a public Discord, but the only thing that worries me about a public Discord is, quite frankly, the trolls. I sincerely hope that people who do tend to watch my channels are good, decent individuals. Now, I don't mean good as in like you're either a politically correct, sensitive individual. There's nothing wrong with you being that, of course, but you ain't getting you ain't gonna get my sympathy when you start preaching your nonsense down other people's throats and thinking that your views are righteous in comparison to other individuals. We are all individuals. We all have our own opinions. When I mean about good and decent, I mean that you are tolerant of other people's opinions and ideas and don't have to go as far as start throwing insults at people just because they happen to have views that disagree with your own. If you are someone who cannot tolerate other people's opinions, then my channel certainly ain't for you. My channel isn't, and my Discord certainly won't be for you, because on my private Discord, not only do you get access to a direct contact with me, which can assist in the direction of where my channel goes in the future, including multiplayer game sessions as well, because you also get involved in the things that I do. But I also have a rule regarding freedom of expression and free speech. I'm not a place for censorship. I'm not a channel for censorship. I'm not a channel to throw adverts in your face. My channel only survives because of the kind donations of my audience. That's the only way my channel survives. I don't get any ad revenue from YouTube. Certainly don't get anything from BitChute. I have to rely on you, the audience, to make sure that this channel survives. If you want your advertisement, your ad-free content, as well as uncensored content. Yes, when I say uncensored, I mean there's nothing that's going to be blurred out in my content. YouTube might end up throwing those videos off my channels, of their platform. BitChute to a certain extent may also do that, but that would then just lead me to basically having to set up an alternative location to upload such extreme content like that, which you ain't really gonna get much from me unless it's a horror game. That's the only kind of extreme content you're gonna get from me on this channel, is the horror games. But any other game is pretty much going to be quite simple and basic, and quite frankly, no need for censorship. And also, when I mean censorship, I also mean that I won't bleep out any profane languages that may be present in the game. I mean, I may not be an individual that swears when I make my videos, but that doesn't mean that the content I play are going to be not going to have like swear words or idiot. Well, I can't control the world, and I don't think I should. But anyways, enough of all that. I'm just saying, I'm one of those channels that's not who completely believes in freedom of expression, especially as a gaming channel and a creative artist, because I make 3D models and 3D animations. As a creative individual, I believe in free expression, which means that I don't believe in censorship of any kind, regardless of what it is, because in my eyes, content creation is a form of art, and art must never be censored. It's something that's beautiful. It has to be shown to the world. And if people start censoring their own work of art, well, that's their fault. That's their problem, not mine. And I don't think those who have such ideas of censorship, I'm sorry to say this to you, you don't belong you don't belong in my Discord if you're going to start preaching about censorship and anti-free speech, because quite frankly, my channel won't be for you. My channel isn't for those kind of people. My channel is for good, decent human beings who are tolerant of other people's opinions and ideas without having to resort to insults and obviously class of social issues. I mean, I'm a Christian and I'm a conservative, but I doubt that the majority of my audience are Christians and conservatives. If anything, they're going to be more of individuals who pretty much don't care about politics in any ways. Me personally, don't care about politics either. Well, I do care about politics personally, but in regards of my videos and what I do, I personally see what I produce in terms of the content I make as apolitical. I mean, for example, this video here ain't it's got no political affiliation in any kind. There's nothing political about this. This is something that anyone from all sides can watch. The only person who, if anything, will make this political or social would be me, which is what I'm doing now. So probably about this time, you probably already just left the video, which I can understand why. Well, I am a chatterbox, so forgive me on that part, but never mind that. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. I've been Christian Conservative Gamer, and I'll see you tomorrow.